Szarekhan Dynasty. This Necron dynasty is the royal bloodline of the Silent King, Szarekh, and once stood as the most powerful rulers of the ancient Necrontyr race. Long ago, Szarekh made a terrible decision and allied with the C'tan, mysterious star gods who promised immortality. But their gift came at a terrible cost as the Necrontyr were stripped of their flesh and turned into living machines through a process known as biotransference. Realizing the horror of what had happened, Szarekh shattered the C'tan and chose exile, leaving the galaxy behind. He vanished into the intergalactic void, taking a loyal part of his dynasty with him known as the Great Sleep. Then, in the 41st millennium, Szarekh returned. He had seen the Tyranids as a new threat and knew the time had come to lead his army once more. Szarekhan legions are marked by a weathered bronze look with their black exo-armor and ivory and gold trim, emphasizing their regal heritage. Their cryptechs are masters of blackstone manipulation, embedding it even into the armor of rank-and-file warriors, making them resistant to psychic assault. Their infantry and immortals carry Gauss weaponry refined to a higher standard than most dynasties. They have monolithic constructs, from doomsday arcs to monoliths, with Gauss flux arrays and particle whips. Leadership remains firmly in Sarekh's hands, supported by figures like Thokt, emissary of the Silent King, overlords such as Neshkafar and Amenhotep, and cryptechs like Ahotep. Their reach spans Segmentum Tempestus and Ultima Segmentum, where their forces act as both conquerors and arbiters, reshaping Necron unity in the name of the Silent King. The Sautekh Dynasty. The core of the Sautekh dynasty lies in the eastern fringe, and its crown world, Mandragora, controls more than 80 tomb worlds. When the dynasty finally stirred from its long slumber, its Farron had been left in ruins after eons of neglect, and the royal court had descended into a brutal civil war. Amidst this turmoil, Nemazor Imhotep was called upon as a weapon by one of the claimants, but instead of serving, he took control for himself, turning the Sautekh into one of the most aggressive and expansionist dynasties of our time. Today, the Sautekh are synonymous with the Necron threat in the eyes of the Imperium. Their legions wage wars across the eastern fringe, enslaving both human and Xenos populations and brutally assimilating rival dynasties. They don't shy away from battling their Necron brethren. In the Pariah Nexus, Imhotep has even boldly defied the Silent King, challenging his authority in a daring quest for dominance. The warriors of this dynasty wear metallic dark green armor accented with brass trim, a color scheme that has become a hallmark of the Necron race. Their armies are made up of disciplined phalanxes of warriors and immortals, backed by heavy Gauss artillery, doomsday arcs, and monoliths. Unlike more insular dynasties, the Sautekh approach warfare with the cold pragmatism of a military empire, utilizing cryptech science and discipline to coordinate their efforts. At the helm is Imhotep the Stormlord, one of the galaxy's most formidable Pharons, supported by his loyal bodyguard, Vargard Oberon. Below them are overlords like Aramok, Zendrik, and Ogdobekh, each playing their part in their dynasty's march of conquest. Mephrit Dynasty. The Mephrit dynasty has built its reputation on aggression and firepower. Once a mid-ranked power during the War in Heaven, it is now infamous for its doctrine of annihilation through concentrated solar energy. It has directed wars of conquest designed to scour enemy civilizations from existence rather than enslave them. The dynasty's signature tactic is its mastery of solar flare weaponry. Their cryptechs develop Gauss and particle arms tuned to absorb and amplify stellar energy, allowing their legions to obliterate enemies with blinding pulses of solar fire. This ensures that their enemies often burn to ash rather than surrender, leaving conquered worlds scorched and uninhabitable. Their dominant color is a mix of black and copper, often accented by glowing range circuitry, reflecting the radiant energy they unleash in battle. Warriors of the Mephrit are drilled in disciplined ranks, but fight with a ferocity more akin to berserkers armed with Gauss flares. Monoliths and doomsday arcs of the dynasty cast devastating beams capable of punching through Titan armor or leveling entire cityscapes. The Mephrit are ruled by overlords who see no value in diplomacy, only destruction. To the Imperium, a Mephrit invasion means nothing less than extermination. The Nihilakh Dynasty. They are all about wealth, grandeur, and their crown world is a sight to behold, filled with sprawling palaces, golden decorations, and stunning crystalline structures that showcase the nobility's arrogance. Their territory spans ancient crown worlds that have remained untouched since the War in Heaven. Historically, the Nihilakh have been among the wealthiest of all Necron dynasties. They've stockpiled vast amounts of arcane technology and rare minerals, which help them secure their power during the Great Sleep by heavily fortifying their tomb worlds. They typically shy away from galactic conflicts unless their honor or holdings are directly threatened, choosing instead to let the younger dynasties exhaust themselves in endless wars. The dynasty's colors of turquoise or light teal glow create a regal image that reinforces their sense of superiority. Their armies move in carefully organized phalanxes, supported by intricately decorated monoliths, Gauss cannons, and powerful phalanx shields. They are strategic defenders, willing to wear down their enemies in sieges instead of rushing for quick victories. Leading the dynasty are wealthy Pharons and aloof overlords who view themselves as guardians of the Necron race's grandeur. To the Imperium, they're a rare adversary, usually encountered only when their territory is invaded, but their disciplined armies often fend off invaders with ease. Other dynasties might see them as arrogant and decadent, but their abundant resources and strategic patience ensure that the Nihilakh endure long after others have fallen. The Novokh Dynasty. They have a notorious reputation for their ruthless legions, whose battle tactics focus on melee attacks. Unlike many other Necron dynasties that lean heavily on Gauss weaponry and disciplined fire, the Novokh prefer to get up close and personal, ripping their enemies apart with warscythes and blades in fierce hand-to-hand combat. On the battlefield, their warriors charge forward in eerie silence, driven by protocols that push them into close-range slaughter that even the Astartes find hard to endure. Novokh forces stand out with their striking crimson armor adorned with silver or brass accents, a color scheme that reflects the rivers of blood they leave in their wake. They rely heavily on units like Lich Guard, Flayed Ones, and Triarch Praetorians. Monoliths and Canoptech constructs lend support, but their main goal is always to force their enemies into close combat, where Novokh warriors truly shine. Their campaigns often conclude with total extermination rather than occupation, leaving planets barren and drenched in blood. To the Imperium, they represent the chilling reality of facing machines that fight like frenzied warriors. Maynarkh Dynasty. This dynasty is remembered as one of the most tragic and feared of all Necron dynasties. Once a proud realm, the Maynarkh fell into decline during the Great Sleep. When they finally awoke, their ruling elites were fractured and their legions had begun to succumb to disturbing hunger for living essence. Other dynasties regard the Maynarkh with horror, treating them as outcasts whose instability threatens even fellow Necrons. Their warriors are known for cruel tactics and a disregard for the ancient codes of war. Forge World lore describes their armies as corrupted by millennia of isolation and decay, and their behavior bordering on Flayer-like savagery. Their forces bear dark brass and rust-orange carapaces, with sickly green energy coursing through their frames. Though they wield standard Gauss weaponry, they supplement it with Cryptek-forged constructs and arcane devices. The dynasty is ruled by Farron Zunbekir, known as the Mother of Oblivion. Her court is a shadow of its former glory, marked by paranoia and cruelty. Nephrekh Dynasty. The Nephrekh dynasty is one of the wealthiest Necron dynasties, ruling from tomb worlds near the galactic core. Their former crown world, Ariand, orbits a trinary star system, and its resources made the dynasty rich in precious metals and solar energy long before the biotransference. The Nephrekh are unique in their obsession with transcending even machine form. Their ultimate goal is to shed physical bodies entirely and exist as beings of pure light. This ambition shapes their culture and technology. Their nobles practice the Golden Form, a transformation that allows them to become radiant entities of living energy, phasing through matter or moving at impossible speed. Even rank-and-file warriors harness traces of metagold within their frames, granting them flickering teleportation and swift, disorienting maneuvers in battle. Their cryptechs have mastered solar weaponry, channeling stellar energy into devastating doomsday devices and artifacts like the Solar Staff. Yet this pursuit of light has fostered paranoia. Silphek himself suffers from delusions of godhood, and his mania bleeds into the dynasty's nobility. Subekhhar Dynasty. The Subekhhar dynasty once dominated the region now known as the Jericho Reach, its armies led by the legendary Pharaon Amenhotep, the Crimson Scythe. In the War in Heaven, he was famed for defeating champions of the Old Ones and breaching webway defenses, but a betrayal by his cousin of the Charnovokh dynasty left a scar of bitterness that persisted even into the Great Sleep. When the Hollow Sun crown world awoke, Amenhotep's fury bled through the command protocols, corrupting countless warriors and leaving the dynasty crippled. The Pharaon himself remains trapped in stasis, his mind shattered, while Regent Ahotech and the cryptic Ozcan the Codifier struggle to restore their armies. The dynasty's awakening is slow, with each new phalanx carefully reassembled from damaged systems. Despite this handicap, the Subekhhar retain formidable power. Their cryptechs are skilled in reconstructive technologies, fielding resilient warriors supported by monoliths, tesseract vaults, and energy scythes. Their soldiers march in dark bronze, the color of blood and rust, a grim reminder of Amenhotep's warlike past. Charnovokh Dynasty. Scattered and scarred by Tyranid incursions and imperial defilement, the Charnovokh has emerged in the Indomitus era as a symbol of Necron resilience. Though fragmented, their elite legions and their overlords now rally to reclaim what was stolen during the Great Sleep. The dynasty once ruled a significant domain on the galactic southeast, beyond the eastern fringe of Ultima Segmentum. Today, the dynasty is still clinging to survival under the rule of Farron Thuek. When the Silent King returned, the dynasty pledged allegiance, seeing in him a chance to reclaim relevance and protection against further annihilation. All Charnovokh warriors bear deep blue shoulder armor, honoring their lost core worlds. Higher-ranking nobles wear more of this midnight hue, with Farron Thuek himself entirely clad in it. Among their remaining tomb worlds, Bardic stands as a testament to survival in the shadow of destruction. The Thokt Dynasty. Ruling from Meghoshta, known as the Cradle of War, the Thokt dynasty is nestled deep within the Segmentum Pacificus, surrounded by void rifts and radiation storms. Their cryptechs have become experts at harnessing these chaotic energies, which give Thokt warriors their distinctive blue glow. This radiation not only powers their weapons, but also weakens their foes, even if they don't land a direct hit. Their outer worlds have endured brutal wars of attrition, most notably against the Orcs, whose hordes turned entire planets into killing fields. The dynasty's resilience in these conflicts has only deepened their reputation for cold, methodical warfare. Ruled by strategist Pharaon Nectarach, the dynasty is also characterized by its reliance on cryptech-led innovation and technomanic warfare. Their cryptechs are among the most advanced in the galaxy, often leading battlefield operations and experimental campaigns. Ogdobekh Dynasty. This dynasty is renowned for its incredible technical prowess, a skill honed over millennia thanks to a unique partnership with its cryptechs. In return for the resources of the dynasty, the cryptechs delivered groundbreaking innovations, putting them at the forefront of technological advancement among Necron dynasties. Their tomb worlds were equipped with triple-layered backup systems, allowing them to awaken from the Great Sleep with minimal losses. Their copper-green heraldry reflects a proud legacy of advanced power. However, paranoia defines their ruling house as Pharaon Anathrosis forbids cryptechs from modifying canoptech constructs, reserving that privilege for the royal family alone. Oruscar Dynasty. One of the most dangerous Necron artifacts in existence, the Celestial Orrery, is hidden within the crown world of the Oruscar Dynasty. They are the guardians of an ancient artifact said to track every star in the galaxy. With a single adjustment, its mechanisms can snuff out entire suns, plunging worlds into darkness and ending countless lives in an instant. The existence of the Orrery has turned the Oruscar into a constant target. Back during the Horus Heresy, the Word-Bearers laid siege to Thanatos, hoping to capture the artifact for the Dark Gods. Even with their fierce assault, the Traitor Legion was pushed back thanks to the Oruscar's powerful counterattacks that safeguarded the Orrery. More recently, the rival Necrons have also tried to seize it, only to be beaten once again. The dynasty's emblem is adorned with jade blue colors, representing their strength and proud lineage. Ruler Mephrit leads its fractured yet unyielding legions, always on guard against threats from both humans and Necrons who want to steal the galaxy's most dangerous weapon. Other Undying Dynasties. While the great dynasties dominate Necron politics, several lesser-known powers shape the background of their civilization. Among them, the Aten dynasty takes control of many tomb worlds along the northern galactic rim. Ruled by Pharaon Atun and his overlords, they are known for hoarding ancient wonders such as obelisks and tesseract vaults. They faced a significant setback when the Space Wolves under Ragnar Blackmane destroyed their tomb world of Karnak. Then there's the Ithacus dynasty, which has gained a reputation for its decay. As depicted in the Twice-Dead King novels, their tomb worlds have awakened in a state of chaos, embroiled in civil war and rebellion. Under the leadership of Pharaon Ultix, they struggle to maintain a realm that is crumbling. Meanwhile, the Oruscar dynasty has gained notoriety for being intentionally infected with the Flayer virus by the Eldar of Alatok. Their tomb worlds have become unstable, with once mighty Necron legions devolving into flayed ones. Each time they reawaken, fewer warriors remain intact, accelerating the dynasty's descent into madness. After the War in Heaven, the Quinaton dynasty was assigned the task of guarding a Catan that defied classification. It is said that it collapsed into a chaotic sphere of defective necrodermis, a swirling mass of corrupted star stuff. Over time, this unstable entity infected the entire dynasty, coating its warriors and tomb complexes in a sinister black goo. From this corruption, they've developed strange new abilities in return. The dynasty endures in isolation, a living relic of cosmic failure and mutation. Hope you enjoyed our deep dive into Necron dynasties. Drop your top picks in the comments or click here to watch the next video.